everyone, welcome to Everything Spice. My name is Tanya. Have you ever thought to yourself, what am I going to make for supper tonight? It's a dilemma. It's a dilemma that everyone who cooks in their house faces at one time or another. Because after a while, everything gets boring, right? We want to mix it up, we want to try something new. We don't want to cook the same things every day, at least I don't. So I'm over here chopping, and I'm wondering what I'm going to do. Well, this is what I'm going to do, my friends. Here I go. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I went to the market and I bought these, what is it called? Beef, like it looks like it's like a stir-fry beef. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like a stir-fry beef. So I have 4 packages of stir-fry beef and mixed in with stew meat. So what am I gonna do with that? I am gonna make pepper steak. Yeah, baby, yeah. Now, pepper steak, got my peppers all set up. I did my mise en place while I'm chopping away. I got my onions, I got my peppers. Now, I had seen these wonderful peppers. The red peppers were on sale, so I went with the red peppers. Because red peppers on sale, yes, that's what I'm gonna do. So what I'm starting out with is I got my pan with some olive oil in it. And I'm gonna stir that, turn that on, stir that up, right? I'm gonna stir that up. I'm gonna turn the oven on, basically the top stove. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn it up. All right, so here we go. So I'm gonna heat up my oil. I got my garlic chopped. So it's garlic, onions, and peppers, but I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I have some whole pecorino peppers I'm gonna cut up, okay? So we're gonna do all that first, and I'm gonna show you how to assemble this deliciousness. So we're gonna fry up, we're gonna heat this up and then start stirring, and I'll come back and you're gonna see how this all comes together. Pepper steak on Everything Spice. It's gonna be a wonderful Thursday, everyone. Welcome. All right, so what I'm gonna show you how I do the onion. Do it like this. And because the peppers are kind of like in the same thing, I'm gonna cut them in half and just make strips, right? Because it's pepper steak. You don't want big chunks of pepper. At least I don't in my, in my food. Now, I'm heating up the oil, as I mentioned earlier. And what I'm gonna do with it is I'm gonna fry up my meat a little bit, like saute my meat a little bit, okay? And basically, we have 2 different types of beef, and that is not a problem. The stew meat and the stir-fry meat, they have to go in separately though, because this meat, the stew meat, takes longer because it's chunkier than the stir-fry meat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cook the stew meat first, brown it on all sides. It's not gonna thoroughly cook yet until it all goes into the pot. It's gonna be a 1-pot wonder. But right now we're just trying to get a brown on it, because there is nothing better than brown meat, my friends. That's the start of something good. Now what you could do too is brown the meat if you wanted to. You could put it in a crock pot and cook it on high for 4 hours or low for 8 hours if you have that time. But I'm gonna do it in this pan and have it ready because I gotta go back to work. So I want it started right now, and I might just decide, now that I'm thinking about it, I might just decide to put it in the crock pot once I brown it all. But I have to set all this up in advance. And this is stuff you can do in advance too if you have to work like I do. You have multiple jobs and you got to get back to work. I am lucky enough that I have a job that in between I can do these things. I can cook and make the meals and then go back to work. Some people don't have that luxury. So what you could do is day before, right? All right, let me see. It feels like it's hot enough. Let's hear the sizzle. Hear the sizzle. Now make sure that when you're cooking this, you don't crowd the pan. Now, as I'm saying, bringing it back. Before I forget, you could do it the day before. Cool it down, and then the family can heat it up, or you could reheat it the next day. Sometimes you have to do that. Prep in advance. It is called mise en place to have everything in its place. But it's also a great idea for time. Hang on, let me wash my hands. Because sometimes you don't have the luxury of making a meal from start to finish, like on a Sunday or a day off that you have. You have to do that in advance. Okay, so I got this in the pan. And don't crowd the pan. Make sure that you have enough space. I got a big pan here, but if you don't, you got to do it in stages. Because basically it's not really browning it, it's just steaming it. That could be okay too in itself, but let me show you what I mean. Come to the pot, see? There's space for it to move around. So it's not all stuck together. It has its own room so that it individually can brown on its own. That's what I mean by that, just in case you're wondering. All right, let me put this back down and get back cooking, baby. All right, pepper. We got to have some spice in here. We got to have some spice. Now I usually use salt and pepper to start with, but I might wait on the salt because with beef, what can happen is the salt, it can give away a lot of its juices, and I need it to be juicy because there ain't nothing worse than dry beef, let me tell you. I don't like dry food. My meats are not dry. They are juicy, and it all is the preparation of the cooking as well as the resting time. That's super important in any type of beef or poultry, to make sure that it's not a dry product when you finish with it. All right, so let me brown my meat, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the vegetable preparation, and then it's just assembly time, baby. All right, welcome back. I got my meat resting. And what happens with resting your meat, see, I got some red in there. I don't want to take out all the red, but look what happens. The juices will redistribute in the meat if you let it rest. If you don't let it rest, well, that's when you get a dry product. Now, we're going to start with our ingredients. Our vegetables go in. And I have peppers, which is the pepper steak. That's what we got here, pepper steak. So peppers go in first. Why? Because they take the longest to cook. So you go by, everything is stages. The beef starts browning, you take that out. The vegetables go with what takes the longest. If it's carrots, if it's peppers, hotter vegetables, you go in first. Then you add onions, then you add the other stuff. That takes less time. Garlic, I would go last, only because, and I have garlic here, I minced garlic. That's gonna go in last because that will burn easier, and we don't want no burning. Oh, we don't want burning. We're gonna saute this up, get a little crisp on them. I'm still debating whether I'm gonna crock pot it or I'm gonna keep it in the pan. Depends on time constraints. We'll see. This is what I do. I throw it around the pan with some olive oil. Here we go. If it gets too loud, that's what we do, okay? That way it sizzles without us like going deaf. I'm gonna use cilantro. I have some cilantro. Let me get it out from underneath this camera. Cilantro, the herb of the gods. Just saying. Just saying. Onions, you can take them or you can leave them. I'm going to take them. Guess what? This is a, what is it? Sloppy Joe mix? Yes, I'm putting a Sloppy Joe mix in my, yes I am. Yes I am. I'm putting it in. Can of that. Any brand. Parsley, salt and pepper. And look what I found, man. It's a tomato bouillon. Tomato bouillon. It says chicken on there, I don't care. I'm using it. Tomato bouillon, and it is rich looking. I don't know if the lighting in here will ever let you see it, but look how rich that is. That is gorgeous. And the smell, woo! It is concentrated, baby, in a good way. In a good way. And then of course the whole pecorino peppers I'm going to use as well, with some juice from that. Some juice to make it a little spicy. Kind of like that kick. All of that's going to go in, and I'm going to show you on the other side what it all looks like. Stay with me. Stay with me. It's pepper steak, baby. Welcome back. I'm just chopping up my cilantro. And don't ask me how many. This is a lot. Probably more than most people would use in their recipe, but it is what it is. I like it. I love it. I want more of it. Let me get rid of this. Look at my hands. Okay, so we're at the home stretch. of this pepper steak meal. Come to the pot. Look what it looks like. I just put the garlic in. I'm gonna stir it up. I got the pecorinis. Look at that. Oh, yum, yum, yum. The peppers are all cooking in there. Look at that deliciousness. It's getting happy. But we're gonna make it even happier, okay? Because we're gonna put in our other ingredients. Now, we're gonna finish it off. Got some parsley. And I like parsley too. Not as much as cilantro, but I like parsley. I'm gonna put some more pepper in it. I got my manwich, but yeah, I got my manwich. Let me put it in. Or whatever sloppy Joe mix you want. I'm just using 1 can just to have that tomato flavor in it. You don't have to use it. You could substitute maybe diced tomatoes or tomato paste if you wanted to, but I just love all the spices. Everything spice, baby. I love the spices in it. All right, gonna mix all that in. And there's so much flavor and the smell is so incredible. And you know, you could just stir fry this yourself. You don't even have to use tomatoes, but I kind of like it. I kind of like the tomato. And you could serve this over rice. You could serve this over noodles. You could serve this with hoagie rolls, whatever you want to do with it. Serve it just by itself if you're on one of those diets where you can't have bread. That would work. That would work. Now, the concentrate is going in. It smells, oh, it's gonna bump up the flavor so nicely. Okay, we're gonna just use a spoonful to try it out. Just to give it so much flavor. You're not even gonna stand it. This is amazing stuff. I'm discovering stuff in the store that I never even knew possible, baby. And I'm sharing it with all of you. So you can make your meal times festive, right? We wanna have a little zing. Try something different. Mix it up in the kitchen, my friends. This looks incredible. So if it looks as good as it looks, if it tastes as good as it looks, reverse that, it's gonna be amazing. All right, cilantro goes in right now. Right now, baby. And don't even let a single leaf escape. At least I'm not gonna let a leaf escape. Get in there. Get in my pot. Get in my pot. Then you'll get in my belly. All right, here we go. Done. Perfecto. All right, we're gonna mix all this in. Then I'm gonna show you. Yes, it looks like a lot of cilantro leaves, but my friends, it's gonna mix all in, baby. It's gonna be so good. And you don't have to use it. I know I shouldn't say that because I'm really encouraging you. Cilantro is just so delicious. And you know what? If you're not used to it, because you didn't have it growing up, I didn't have it growing up, you can learn to love something if you try it more than once. It's in salsas. You go to Taco Bell, you go to those places, you got cilantro and everything, baby. So if you like it there, you're gonna like it here in your pot. It's just an acquired taste. At first, I didn't even like it. I know. Sacrilegious, I didn't like it, okay? But I'm thinking, I reasoned with myself, I have it in salsa. I have it when I go to these restaurants, these Mexican restaurants. Why can I not get used to it in my own house? And you know what I did? I made it with everything, and now I love it. See? That's what happens. You get used to it. It looks, I don't even know what to say. The looks alone is just so appetizing. So appetizing, okay? And that is what a meal can be for you. If it looks aesthetically nice, meaning pleasing to the eye, your kids are gonna love it, your family's gonna love it. Because if it looks good on the plate, it's gonna taste good in your mouth. At least that's a perception that people have. When they see something that looks gross, kids will like shy away from it. But if it looks pleasing to the eye, they're gonna wanna try it. Just a tip. Come on in and look. Look how rich, delicious, and gorgeous that is bubbling in the pan. Let me lower it a little bit, the heat. But I'm telling you right now, you serve that to your family, they are going to love it and love you. Yes, mom is a chef. Daddy's a chef. Sissy's a chef. It doesn't have to be just one. We all can be chefs, right? We all can be our cooks in our own kitchen, man. We all can be that person. that people look up to and they say, I'm hungry, what do you got? You want to understand what I got today, baby? You sit back. Now, you are going to be pleasantly surprised with this. What this is going to do is cook a little bit longer. Okay, I'm going to let it cook, meld together, marry, as they say, right? Marry all those flavors that I put in this pot. And when I come back, you're going to see the final result. It is pepper steak tonight, baby, on Everything Spice. Welcome back. Well, it is done. Let's do the final reveal. Woo-wee. Oh my, let's let the smoke clear and bring it to the pot. Come to the pot. Look how absolutely delicious and amazing this is. Now, look how gorgeous. Look how fabulous. This is my version of pepper steak. Now let me serve you. Let me serve you. I wouldn't be a good hostess with the mostest, baby, if I didn't serve you. I even made you some Spanish rice. Here we go. This looks delightful. Let me even give you a little pepper. Look at this. You are going to love it. If you serve this for your family, I am telling you, they are going to be pleasantly surprised. And they're going to love it. And here is your portion. And your fork. And if you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you, please like and subscribe and join me next time for Everything Spice. Happy Thursday, everyone. Be safe.